In this part of the world at least, Christmas brings with it turkey and stuffing, silly jumpers, tinsel and fairy lights, holly and mistletoe, and the vain hope of snow on just the right day. And of course, Christmas carols. Christmas just wouldn't be Christmas without the carols. Believe me, I've lived in places that don't really do Christmas carols and it just isn't the same at all. Whether you know them from church or from school or from the Christmas music playing in the background of the shopping centre as you scramble about for last-minute Christmas presents, there are some carols that everyone recognises and can sing along to. For many of us, all the words can just roll off our tongues without a second's thought, because after all, we've been hearing them non-stop every December for the whole of our lives. But what do the words actually mean? Do you ever think about just what it is that you're singing? Maybe the best known of all carols is "O Come All Ye Faithful." It's been top of the Christmas carol charts for centuries, longer than any of us have been alive, and no Christmas service would be complete without it. And yet, it's got some very strange words indeed. God of God, light of light, lo, he abhors not the virgin's womb. Very God, begotten, not created. O come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. What does God of God, light of light actually mean? And why are we singing about it every Christmas? Well, it's not some strange poetical notion of whoever wrote the lyrics to the carol. No, these are borrowed words, borrowed from the Nicene Creed, where they explain to us just who this Jesus, who was born in a manger in Bethlehem that first Christmas, really is. Although he was born in Bethlehem, that wasn't the start of Jesus' story. Nor did it begin 9 months earlier when the angel Gabriel paid a visit to Mary to tell her that she was going to have a baby. No, actually, Jesus' story doesn't have a beginning, for he is God of God, born of the Father before all ages. That's the way the Creed explains that Jesus is God the Son, the eternal Son of the Father. As God from God, he is just as much God as the Father is. Unlike us, he's not part of the creation. He's begotten, not created. He's not some sort of minor deity or super creature. He is true God from true God, distinct from the Father and yet one with him. And though he is God, begotten of the Father from all eternity, lo, he abhors not the virgin's womb. Jesus is the one through whom the entire universe was made, and he's the one who upholds it all. Yet, he willingly humbled himself to become a tiny baby in the womb of the Virgin Mary. Jesus became an embryo for all embryos, a baby for all babies, a child for all children, a human being for all of us. As the Bible puts it, for you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that you, through his poverty, might become rich. Or the words of Philippians chapter 2, who being in the very form of God did not consider it robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, taking the form of a bondservant and coming in the likeness of man. And being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient to the point of death, even the death of the cross. That's what we're celebrating at Christmas. Not just the birth of a baby in Bethlehem, but the birth of God the Son, God of God, light of light, very God, begotten, not created, as a human baby, as one of us, to the Virgin Mary in Bethlehem's stable, for us and for our salvation. There in Bethlehem, one of the Trinity was laid in a manger. As Martin Luther said, "No other God have I but thee, born in a manger, died on a tree."